Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, it's time for another video. Hey everyone,
Happy birthday, Mikoy.
Thank you. Hey everyone, this is Mikoy welcoming you back to another episode of the TPP Podcast. I am joined by the Ingo to my Emmett.
What?
Hey, we've been kind of in an Ingo and Emmett mood lately, so I have to introduce you to.
I don't understand this.
Do you not like Ingo and people in Pokemon? Ingo and Emmett are the train boys.
I'm aware, but still, what?
Introduce yourself, woman.
Fine. Yes, I am joining him again. I am PokeArt 2004, yes.
Last time we covered Week 3 recap and Week 4 predicts. This time we're getting into the middle of TPP. It's time for Week 4 recap and Week 5 predicts. So Week 4 was an interesting week. Dare I say it's been quite the tumultuous week, actually. We've seen a couple of
I like Week 4.
It's been quite the week, ladies and gentlemen. There was some tumultuity in terms of the winners and the losers and the matchups and the whatnots. So
that's a fancy word.
So let's go through one by one, shall we? And yes, I'm recording on my birthday, so let me have this. I'm in a mood. Anyway, first starting off, we got the Absolute Absol Posters beating the Gotham Golbats in a dominating fashion.
That's reassuring.
Yeah. For a team that has been doing kind of mid over these past couple of weeks, the Absolute Posters finally got a good week, and it's against the number 1 team. At least at the start of week.
They were the number 1 team.
At least at the start of this week, yeah. So, let's go through it, shall we? First off, we got Axe versus Advita in TSAA. Good to see Axe finally getting a win, a proper win. Although it was through controversial means. You see, Ad's physical Frostlass was the MVP of this team. It was taking hits. It was getting a good matchup, actually, against all of Axe's mons. And doing quite a sufficient damage with Triple Axel and Poltergeist. Unfortunately...
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that was Scarf or something.
Maybe. Unfortunately, though... Well, it was Spikes as well. Unfortunately, it only hit right... In a crucial turn, it only hit Rhyperior once. And that freed Axe's Manectric to take out Vaporeon and Mandibuzz, which was really unfortunate.
Actually, I think you mean it only hit the Rhyperior once, which allowed the Rhyperior to revenge kill it.
With Rock Blast.
Which made it so Advita had no other mons to take a hit or outspeed the Manectric.
Which is really unfortunate, as he could have definitely used Frostlass to take out that Manectric with Electric Surge. And so that ultimately led Axe the win. It was really unfortunate for Adv, but a good win by Axe. Next up, we got Ice Master versus Andy Boy. There was a lot of uniqueness in the Stab and Mega game. I like the way the teams were built, and some of the sets are pretty dang interesting. We got Technoblast Blissey and Poison Fang Toxapex.
Well, I wasn't too surprised by Poison Fang Toxapex. I mean, you might as well have a high PP attacking move where you have a pretty damn solid chance of poisoning.
I guess.
In a meta where you can learn, literally any stab move.
I guess. But Technoblast Blissey didn't surprise you?
No, that did.
Okay. Pheromosa was easily the MVP of this game, able to triple axle the Eternatus at a good time, and as well as getting to close combat the Magearna at a safe range allowed it to basically do well and properly kill the rest of the mons, which Pheromosa definitely deserves props. Nothing much else to say though game-wise. Ice just had the naturally bulky team that Andy couldn't break. So a good win by Ice there. Next up, we got Career Ended versus Irpachusa, and I called this one as Career Ended actually won. Ha!
You do realize I got like 4 or 5 more right than you did this week, right?
We'll talk about that later, okay? Game 1. Game 1 saw Aggron versus Silvally having kind of a weird turn. It was Crushed Claw Aggron and then a Head Smash miss. It was kind of weird. Garbodor and Kyogre standing up to Lugia very well during the game as well. And then Dynamax...
more surprisingly with Garbodor than Kyogre.
Yeah, I mean, Pain Split and Gunk Shot will do that to you. And then Dynamax Kyogre beat the Dynamax Spectrier, which caught me by surprise at least.
No, it didn't. Wasn't it low by
It was low. Point? It was low, but just seeing that mental image of Kyogre beating the Spectrier, which I know it's low, but it was still able to pick up the kill and win.
A Kyogre beats a Spectrier normally. What are you talking about?
Does it really? I've never seen that happen.
It's a Kyogre.
I've never seen that happen. Even in Ubers.
It's a Kyogre.
I know. I
think you're confusing it for Calyrex Shadow.
Maybe I am. Game 2.
No one freaking uses Spectrier in Ubers.
It was probably Calyrex. Game 2. We saw the Go-Goat doing well for the first couple of turns. I mean, Sap Sipper with a Hornleech and Rock Slide, getting able to basically have a feast. Meganium was surprisingly a good wall also in this game, but it ended up...
That's the only thing it's good for.
Yeah, but a Slurpuff sweep at the end stopped that. I mean, as Slurpuffs do. It was a 2-game series, and Career Ended absolutely picked up the win over Irpa in a very impressive fashion. Next up, we got one of the big upsets that happened this week. Clastia beating Yoda. Yoda missed a Heat Wave on the Incineroar. That should have been a bad omen, but it was. Along with, the mon of this week in doubles is Kyurem. Because it's banded, because not only is it banded in this game, along with its stab typing, allowed it to deal big damage. So, which Classia had a really much easier time after that. Yoda was just left with Stakataka and Cresselia near the end, and it couldn't really have time to properly set up the Trick Room, so Classia just kind of killed it.
Yeah, that game was a little unfortunate.
So yeah, I mean, impressive win by Classia, but a huge setback by Yoda. Hopefully he'll bounce back this week. Next up, we got...
He's still positive. He's still got one of the best...
He's gonna bounce back.
...doubles records.
Yeah, he's gonna bounce back. Right, I have faith.
Doesn't he have the best doubles record here?
At the moment, yes.
See? Despite that, he still has it.
Just a minor setback, I guess. Next up, we got Tony Flygon versus TDK in National Dex Sim 6. The Honchkrow War at the start was pretty interesting. I mean, Honchkrow packing Icy Wind of all things to try to lower its speed until it got Brave Birded.
Yeah, and was killed in one hit.
And of course the MVP of this game was Tony's Mega Steelix, able to tank the Sand/Slash Earthquakes to get off a Rock Polish twice, then set up an Iron Defense, and then just ultimately sweep Okoing Raikou in the process.
Yep.
So, once again, Tony Flygon manages to scrape by a same 6 game with a great Steelix set, as he normally does, Tony Flygon. Building wax.
The thing is, I think TDK had the same set.
He had Autotomize, not Rock Polish. Still the same thing, though.
Enough.
Still the same thing, though. Next up, we got W-Sun 1 versus Bacon in Ubers. And this was one
Now,
of...
you said Bacon was gonna win this, right?
This is one of the games where Poker got right over me. There's been a theme this week.
Yes.
Groudon Dragon pulsing a Giratina at the start was interesting. Well, interesting choice. Will got to play around Kyogre well, even getting Cramorant to paralyze it at a very crucial point where Gulp Missile is kind of a pain. Ultimately, though, Rayquaza setting up a D-Dance and then sweeping it at the end gave Will the win. So, again, a good win by W-Sun.
Yep, as predicted.
Next up, we got Dugza versus Dex. This was an incredibly hard matchup for Dex. Water versus Electric really wasn't the best matchup.
Yeah, like we all saw what happened last time that happened with Parish Song and RSB.
And this happened again. Not really much else to say game-wise. I mean, Dugza just got the better matchup and won.
Yeah.
I don't really have notes for that one. It's just Dugza wins. Lol. GG. Next up, we got Lax versus Zen. Some highlights first of all. Game 1 had Lax bringing Rain, even bringing Explosion Quillfish, and having Seismitoad sweep the first game. Game 2 was a little shorter. We got Komo-O Dragon Dance and Medicham use, a little bit of Medicham usage, but that's really it. Lax just brought a better team and won the game. In a pretty convincing fashion, might I add.
Lax is the better player here, I may add.
I mean, yeah.
Say, what did you predict here?
I predicted Lax.
Okay, good.
All right. So that's a good way. That's a good way for the Absol posters to come back. Next series, we got the Grand Order Greninjas versus the Ballet to Drive Bayonets, and now you can see why Pokeart is such in a happy mood right now. First off, in TSAA, we got Tectonic Destroyer beating a Smart Kid.
Which you did not predict.
But I gotta give Tech credit. He did very well in this game. Yeah, there was the moment where Palossand burnt up a setup Sandaconda, but other than that, Tech played it very straightforward and actually played better of the two in this game. Not really much else to say otherwise. Didn't really have notes for this one.
Knew more about this meta and
quite more than I expected.
Smart Kid brought a very questionable team.
Yeah, I was kind of confused on what Smart Kid actually brought, but credit to Tech, got the win. Well done.
Let me just say, you said he did well. He's convinced he didn't play too good in that, actually.
No, he did. Credit where credit is due, Pokeart. Next up, we got Sage versus Axel in Stab and Mega. This was another. Actually, no. This was a very interesting game. First of all, we got Slowbro Zapdos against Gyarados Aerodactylite. That was a wise choice.
Yeah, I've noticed Slowbro Zapdos has been becoming a thing lately.
I mean, not getting critted with shell armor and the fact that, Zapdos can actually tank people.
Incredible defense.
Yeah, Zapdos is quite usable in that regard. Heatran getting off a Doom Desire against Geomancy Xerneas after it missed Thunder. That was a funny turn. And then at the end, Zapdos avoided Stone Edge at one point, and then ultimately beat Necrozma and Gyarados, giving Axel the Ultra win. So, again, will we ever get to see more Slowbro Zapdos? Probably.
We've already seen more Slowbro Zapdos.
Okay, fair enough. At least it's been popping off in Stabbing Mega, which I like to see more unique approaches to Stabbing Mega.
It was literally in a game that was played this week.
I know. So well done, Axel. Well done to your player. Next up.
Yeah, that's my player.
Next up, we got multi-gen Rand. Expulso versus Michael Durbest. I know I predicted Expulso to win, but Michael Durbest just said, nope, let me play first and win.
Your fault, McCoy.
I know. Game 1 highlights included Dynamax Noctowl being the MVP. That's really about it. And then Game 2 had Kabuto living a superpower from Braviary and proceeding to sweep, even killing a Zygarde. So,
Yep.
It was just a very sweep-heavy series, and Michael Durbest got the better end of the two. Well done. Next up, we got Kipper versus Zefable. Kepper win, and is now 4-0.
Never mind, he has the best doubles record.
Zefable's beat-up strat was fun to see. Even he took out a setup Clangorous Soul Blaze Kamo with it. But the highlight of this game and the MVP is Steel Frying Kieran Black, doubling down on the Heatran and predicting well against Terrakion, getting to play around it very nicely. The game.
What about the Genesect?
The game changer of the game was definitely, though, Genesect exploding on the Rillaboom and the Terrakion, and then Kepper cleaned the game after that. So Kepper has been absolutely impressive in Camo doubles, and I've loved to see him go 7-0. He might have a shot at it, actually, which I'm very excited about.
Too bad he's on a winless team.
Oof. Painful. Next up, we got Gum versus Shiloh. This was an exceptionally long stall game. 100-something turns, I believe.
180 something, I think, or maybe it was 170 something.
Yeah, around that. I mean, this game was pretty much an easy game for Shiloh because he had the more efficient sets. And
don't call it easy. Because after he was done with that game, he said, "That was miserable."
Nah, from the way he played from an outsider's perspective, he kind of had Gum by the throat with some unique sets. First of all, the throw set with the, I believe it was Substitute, Earthquake, Bulk Up, Drain Punch or something.
I think it might have been Storm
Throw with Flame Orb.
Storm Throw.
With Flame Orb. And then, yeah, the rest of the game...
Yeah, it was 137 turns, by the way.
The rest of the game was pretty, went incredibly in Shiloh's favor, outclassing Gum in same 6. So yeah, nothing much else to say. Well done, Shiloh.
Yeah, do you want to look in depth at the sets? Because
let's actually do it.
Haze users.
Let's do it. Yeah, sure. Go on.
So we got 2 Haze users, being the Toxapex and the Milotic.
Makes sense.
The Melodic had Dragon Tail.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The Celesteela, I think, was Substitute, Air Slash, Leech Seed, and Rest.
Oh, okay.
While Gum had a Metronome Celesteela with
Air Slash, Giga Drain.
Flamethrower, Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and Flamethrower.
Yeah, that's it. Alright, cool.
But wait, the Quagsire set.
The one with Infestation and Hidden Power Grass, I believe. Yes.
No.
No? That wasn't a set?
Gum had Hidden Power Grass.
Oh, okay. It was Gum. Okay.
Shiloh had
The Curse Infestation something.
Infestation. Seismic toss, recover toxic.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, again, interesting sets in same six. You know, you never know what to build with whatever. Next up, we got Kate versus Starmaster. Kate actually had luck on her side for once. Physical Kyogre was
Say that.
Physical Kyogre was doing well at one point. I said towards the beginning, Kate had luck. Physical Kyogre was doing well. Mega Absol actually dodged 2 Precipice Blades. So yeah, that's gotta count for something. And once Mega Mewtwo's bulk up set was revealed, Kate tried doing everything in her power to try to A, burn it, which she was successful, and B, tried to have Arceus Ground, stall it, but it got critted. It got critted and lost. So, unfortunate loss for Kate, but a good win by
I heard
Starmaster.
it was due to a toxic miss.
Oh yeah, that too. But I don't think that really mattered. But so, yeah.
No, I think it did matter.
Okay, fair
They
enough.
were all saying it was what lost her the game.
I mean, okay. Maybe that had something to do with it, but the crit on Arc Ground I see more of as unfortunate happenstance. So yes,
Okay.
Starmaster picked up the win. Next up, we got Sasha versus Spoo. Nothing really much to say, aside from the fact that Pyroke is incredibly broken.
Yes, it is.
Overheat plus Synthesis combining with Contrary. Yeah, there's no way Sasha would have won that game otherwise. Spoo definitely brought a broken Mon, which should be banned, freaking Pyroke.
Yep.
Next up, we got TPP versus Easy. Game 1 saw Easy bringing rain and winning dominantly. TPP did
With
have
the Quillfish.
TPP did have a dumb moment by Psychic Terrain bullet punching, but that's really about it. Easy just brought rain and won. Game 2, we saw a Volcarona sweeping through the entire team, even burning the Mega Lopunny, which TPP was unfortunate in having that happen. I mean, Flame Body is a big deal with Volcarona, but still, pretty unfortunate.
I suppose so, but I don't know if it mattered.
Oh well, Volcarona too easy. So Easy wins.
Yes, quite dominantly.
Next up, we got the Bouncing Bounceweets versus the Full Moon Frostmots, and once again, the Full Moon Frostmots just couldn't catch a break. This BLT, despite the TPP, despite being the reigning champions. Bouncweets actually had a pretty good week too, especially with the games that happened. First off, we got. Oh God, why are we discussing this game first? Oh, Mossy Sandwich versus Rice Man. First few turns were pretty fast-paced and strong. Metagross sacking for Delmise was pretty unfortunate. But it was a kind of a necessary sack. Rice had the game won with Alchemy setup and stored power sweep, but Delmise tanking one stored power and crit killing it, along with crit killing
Wait,
Beware.
what? I thought it just Grassy Glide crit it.
It did. It crit killed it with Grassy Glide.
Then what do you mean it tanked the stored power?
It did. It was at full. It lived on stored power damage. It was in the red, and then it proceeded to Swords
yeah,
Dance.
You're right. Never mind.
It's proceeded to Swords Dance, and then crit killing it with Grassy Glide, and then it crit killed Beware, which was more unfortunate. That cost Rice the game.
Yes, it did.
So yeah, delete this game or probably meme it. It will probably be a meme. But yeah, Mossy Sandwich took the win.
So not only did Rice bring a strange team,
It wasn't that strange. But okay.
it had a Whimsicott.
Hey, Whimsicott can be
and
good.
a Drifblim and an Alchemy.
That setup Alchemy though was good. Until it wasn't. So yeah.
He was quite the unorthodox team.
Next up in Stab and Mega, we got Womar versus RSB. Arcanine was definitely a presence in the first few turns, although getting critted by Buzzwole's first impression kind of hurt. And then the big thing that happened was Magnezone Steel Beam DN-side critting the Magearna. It was the very crucial turn in which the game swung in Womar's favor after that, and RSB just couldn't keep up with what Womar had going for it. Womar definitely had the momentum by the end of that game and then won the game. Next up, we got Crying versus Reginald. This was a strange series. First off, game 1, Sylvanite Dragon, despite being burned, was put to use in the early stages of this game. Vileplume did tank a majority of the hits until it died to Holo range, and a timer win.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yep. Game 2 saw Crying mostly using Ultra Beasts and winning. I mean, no, not Ultra Beasts, just Legendaries. Deoxys, Naganadel, and Volcarona. That's basically about it. Game 3 saw Reginald mostly using Lugia Stall, and it did well by beating nearly everything on Crying's team, because Crying couldn't break the Lugia, which kind of cost them the game and the series in general. So yeah, strange series this one, but hey, Reginald took the win, and Crying is 0-2. Next up, Camo Doubles, Ninja versus Mimoric. I mean, there was a double Fire Ground lead to start with. We got the Necrozma and Volcanion being Fire Ground. There was Torkoal missing a Heat Wave on a ×8 weak Kyurem because it was Ice Steel. Ultimately, though, Stakataka was able to get Trick Room set up and sweep, along with Necrozma as pretty reliable support, gave Mimoric the clean win. What was originally going... So yeah, Mimoric continues to impress when it matters in terms of doubles.
You didn't predict Ninja for this, did you?
No, I predicted Mimoric.
Good.
Siphicon versus GXE is next in National Dex Same 6. I know the Same 6 choices are pretty bad, but credit where credit was due, because both Siphicon and GXE brought very interesting teams for Same 6. Watchdog carrying Sunny Day just for Fire Punch. Okay.
That was interesting, yes.
Ultimately, though, nothing much really happened in this game other than the fact that GXE used Fellstinger as Cavalier at the right time to sweep all of Siffy's team. It was kind of a clean sweep after that. Yeah, well done to GXE on this one.
Yep. Agility Swords? No, Agility Fellstinger as Cavalier.
With close combat. And presumably Iron.
Yep.
Next up, we got Lotiocyte versus Escuma. Loti actually brought a pretty unique team for Ubers, and I'll actually show the team right now. Let's see if I can find it. Right.
By the way, I recall you predicted in favor of Skooma.
I did, but after seeing Loti's team, I'm like, oh crap, where is this leading to? And look at this team! You got Hatcherene, you got Calyrex Ice, you got Mega Mawile, Audino, Kyogre, and Necrozma, which is a unique team, I gotta say. And it did pretty well. Skooma tried to predict Fire Blast at one point right here, but Kyogre stayed in. And that, along with a couple of other things, well, it was only 8 turns. But yeah, Loti's Trick Room team Loti's actually, like, uniquely built Trick Room team actually picked up the win. So, well,
yep, just like I predicted, and you didn't.
I know. Next up, we got Spitfire Arcanine versus Felines. This was another strangely played game. Playing around with Zoomeril was handled rather poorly. I mean, despite being burnt, letting it get away with free knockoffs? No, that isn't really what the ideal play is, honestly, but in hindsight at least. But yeah. Spitfire actually counteracted that by playing around Dragapult well, taking the hits with Klefki well, and Coco ultimately killing and winning the game. So yeah, Spitfire absolutely deserved the win here.
Well, it was a very poor matchup for felines, though.
Yeah, matchup also kind of decided it already, so yeah. Next up, Rob Jr. versus Leo in Mystery OU. Gen 8 game saw Gyarados lose to Volcanion, Leo unnecessarily letting his mons take Dragapult's Shadow Ball, and bad form. But credit where credit's due, Leo actually won this game due to Urshifu destroying the Sand Core. So a well-placed game there. Next up, the Gen 6 game saw a lot of Dragonite spam being plentiful. Although I do got a question. Did that Bisharp not have Sucker Punch?
I wonder about that too, and I have no idea.
Because I've wondered about that, and yeah. Bisharp Sucker Punch would have ultimately killed the Dragonite, but still. Mega Pinsir came in at the start of the game, and then finishing up with Rob's Mega Pinsir winning the game. That was bookended rather beautifully. And then the Gen 7 game was the ultimate tiebreaker, and Gen 7 game proved that Mega Medicham is underrated in OU.
Yeah.
Very underrated, because it ultimately was the MVP of this game. With the high jump kick and the ice punch and the Zen headbutt and all that. Yeah, with pure power.
Yep.
So yeah, good win for Rob Jr. and ultimately a good win for the Bound Sweets. Hopefully they will bounce back as they try to climb up into playoff contention once more.
By the way, who did you predict?
I think I predicted no, I predicted Leo, I think. Frick. Now, last series, we get the Anastar Articunos and the Ruinheim Runerigises. First off, we got Longheap versus Poshik Moshik. Both actually brought pretty good teams, but Longheap's electric terrain team was more efficient. And then Rotom Frost was the MVP of this game. Blizzard just kept hitting and hitting and hitting, and free healing as well with Pain Split. Rotom Frost, very good in TSAA. Raichu cleaned up the end game, but Rotom Frost was definitely the star of that game. Next up, we got Agromelity versus Dr. PhD BJ. And the first thing you'll note when watching this game is BJ has some pretty creative names, all named Keldeo.
Yep.
Nothing really much happened game-wise, although I do got a question. Solgaleo carrying Thunderbolt for Ho-Oh. Is that really an ideal choice in Stab and Mega?
That's not exactly too uncommon, I don't think.
Oh, I question that, but okay. Any Stab and Mega players would like to defend the choice for Thunderbolt Necrozma? Let me know down in the comments below, because I genuinely question that as well. But Blacephalon carrying Rock Blast? Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, that was the questionable thing here, not Thunderbolt.
Nothing much else happened game otherwise. Dr. PhD had the better matchup in play. Agrometally just couldn't have the easiest time breaking it. So yeah, better player in general. Well done to Dr. PhD. Next up we got Loscono versus London. Game 1. Charizard Y was able to survive even rocks to kill Aggron. And Bruxish ended up being a surprise killer and sweeper. Game 2 saw Dusk Noir's Focus Punch strats being put to use pretty well. Gengar and Mega Gengar and Liepard's crit filled turn in turn 12, with Gengar hitting the crit on something, and Liepard hitting the Shadow Ball, copycat Shadow Ball on the Gengar, critting it. And then Malamar's Trick Room set actually proved very well. And then game 3, we saw Porygon 2 beating Mewtwo with Max Strike, and then Thundurus killing Magearna with a crit, giving Loscono the complete and utter win.
Unfortunate, but yes.
Next up, Shadow Monster versus Zern. And once again, I must preface, Kyurem Black is the best mon in camo doubles. Because it just needs only one Dragon Dance off, and then it just swept the rest of Shadow's team. Good win by Zern. Next up, we got Leru versus Crucify. Taunt Bulk Up Sub was a pretty good set on Beware, honestly. Simisear outsmarting Wobbuffet with Z-Move, thinking it would be Mirror Coat, but ultimately it failed. That was really funny. The Melmetal turns at the end were pretty good. Leru's was doing body press stuff, while Crucify's got the W by being Indoor Custap Berry with Earthquake, killing the Simisear. A well-timed win by Crucify, and of course, you predicted Crucify, I predicted Leru, so another one for the books.
Yes, I did.
Fine. Next up, we got FC versus Poek. FC using Cramorant's Gulp Missile to beat Arceus, later paralyzing Zacian in a crucial turn. Arceus Ground ended up being the MVP of this game, stalling Zygarde well and taking out the remaining Mons with Judgment and Ice Beam. And Arceus Ground is pretty much the best Arceus type, don't fight me.
It's either that or...
Normal.
Actually, water and normal do well as well.
I prefer Ground. And next up, we got Monotype Cap Trichotomy versus Tier. Duraludon carrying Foul Play to beat Zeraora. That was nice. Other than that, though, nothing much else happened. It was surprisingly a very straightforward game. Dragon just got the advantage over Electric, and Hydreigon swept the end of the game with Flamethrower. So, yeah, a good win by Trichotomy, who continues to be quite the Monotype Cap threat. And finally, we got Saki versus Based What. The Gen 7 game included Toxapex, Walling, Tornadus, and Magearna Will until Flainium Z killed it, which I definitely do think that Saki should have already taken the advantage of that. Greninja also had a lucky break against the Sandcore, so well done. Game 8, or Gen 8, saw the Volcarona living both a V-Creed and an Aqua Jet. And Based What just had natural tankiness with Slowbro and Tangrowth to just take out all of Saki's Mons. So, were you impressed at all with Based What's OU after this?
I don't know, I don't recall what happened in the game.
Personally, Based What, from you to me, you did aight. You did alright. So, good win. You did aight. So, that brings us to the game. That brings us to the end of week 4. Oh, by the way, taking a look at the spreadsheet, we'll actually be using a different sheet this time. Matchup's looking pretty... The ranking is looking pretty dang interesting. First off, we got the Absol Posters leading with 8 points. Ruinheimer Nerigus in second place. We got the Banets and the Golbats in third and fourth, respectively. A very close race, if I do say so myself. And the Articunos have The Articunos and the Bound Suites can catch up if they are given a good weeks. The Grand Order, Greninjas, and the Full Moon Frostmonts, though, they need some big splashes. They need some big wins if they want to make playoffs badly. Especially with only 3 weeks to go, they need huge differentials in order to win.
Yes, they do.
In order to pick up the win.
But I am happy my team is now above the Golbats.
As you normally do. So let's move on now to week 5, and here are the mystery OU tiers this week. And I do have a confession to make. I was being the mystery OU discussion got a little bit heated this week, with a lot of the tier choices being whack and all. And I do want to personally apologize for being so stubborn. And I know people hate me. I know a lot of people didn't like how I planned it out. I'll take full responsibility for this as the host, because I was in a pretty bad mood when deciding for the mystery OU tiers. And also, you got to see a side of me that personally you should be very careful of. I can get pretty stern when it comes to rule set deciding. I don't F around with tier selection, okay? So yeah, we will try to coordinate with the managers better. As the hosts, it's our job, it's our responsibility to coordinate with our managers better so we can have a proper tour. So we'll definitely do that at the end. I know a lot of people hate us as hosts, but so yeah, I do want to personally apologize to every one of the managers, and I'll do better.
Wow, this was secretly the Me Koitan Cinco apology video.
You think? I had this all planned out. Don't worry, no, but it's fine. But it's fine. You can take the tier choices with a grain of salt. So yeah, that is everything I wanted to get out of my chest. Yes, and I'll try to be less stubborn. Not really. No, I'm kidding. I will. All right. So, looking at the matchups itself right now.
Alright, we still have to predict.
You think? We still got 30 matches to go because 2 people decided to play now. With Metariolu,
Yeah.
with Metariolu winning over Spitfire and Elgino winning over Agrimeltily. Okay. First off, the Absolute Posters versus the Bouncing Bounce Suites. Posters are already 1 up this week, so let's see if the Bounce Suites can catch up. First off, in TSA...
My prediction before we got to this was that the Bounce Suites would get slaughtered.
Well,
in this.
Looking at the matchups themselves, I don't think the Bounce Suites are going to have a pretty easy time.
That's exactly what I was just saying. They will get slaughtered.
Okay, then. First off, TSAA, we got the Number Man finally making his TPP4 debut versus Mossy Sandwich. I mean, this is pretty easy to decide. This is pretty easy to decide. I think TNM has got this in the bag. I know Mossy's good, but TNM, when he plays efficiently, he will do well. When he isn't trolling, he's done amazingly. In OUs.
He has
not
Dwayne
OU.
The Rock Johnson as his profile pic, of course.
So he's Mega Chad levels of good. So yeah, TNM wins here. Next up, we got Stab and Mega, Ice Master versus Womar. This one is actually going to be pretty close. More than a lot of people would think.
Ice Master.
More than a lot of people would think.
Ice Master.
Despite how good Ice Master is, I'ma be a betting man and do Womar.
Now Ice Master is not only going to beat him, but he's going to 6-0 him just to prove how wrong you are.
Watch it actually happen. It's gonna be a funny. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Womar to win because I genuinely am more impressed by Womar. And they've also met before in TPP 3, I believe. Which, I believe... No, I think Ice Master actually won that. So, crap. My betting instincts will be gone.
Reasoning invalidated.
Crap. I'm still picking Womar to win. I have faith. Go Womar. Next up, Multi-gen Rands, Casual.exe versus Crying. Will Crying ever catch a break?
No.
Poor Crying. I'll pick Casual to win.
That's why they're crying.
Casual.exe to win.
I'll pick Crying.
Okay, fair enough. Camo doubles. We got Yoda versus Frixel.
Yoda.
This is gonna be a slaughter. A slaughter and a half.
Yoda. No, not a slaughter, but Yoda still wins.
No, it's gonna be a total slaughter. Yoda's gonna win.
No.
Why?
Yoda's gonna
Frixel
win,
has a
but
chance?
slaughter.
Do you think Frixel has a chance against one of the best doubles players?
I think Frixel is a good doubles player, so maybe a little.
Okay, fine. Yoda will win. Next up,
Yoda will win.
we got National Dex Same 6. We got Tony Flygon versus Siphicon. And hey, we got Furry.
Tony Flygon versus Siffy Khan.
Yes, they rhyme. Tony Flygon wins and a half. GG.
Tony Flygon wins in a half? I think you mean he wins 2 holes. There is no half with Tony Flygon.
He still wins because he's Tony Flygon. He's too good at this.
He is Tony the Flygon.
There's no Flygon in this Same 6 Poke Art. What do you mean? Next.
I said he is Tony the Flygon.
Okay. Nat Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got W Sun 1 versus Low Teosite.
W Sun has already won. He hasn't, but he will.
I'ma be the betting man. Go Lottie.
Why are you intentionally making dumb decisions?
Because I expect crazy tech to happen, just like with last week.
Okay, but what if W Sun 1 brings the crazy tech?
Then I'll be more than inclined to predict them next week. But for now, it's Loti.
Okay.
Next up, we got Monotype Cap, Meta versus DJ Berluminati. This already happened, and Meta won, which we would already predicted.
Who would you have predicted?
Meta.
I would have done that too.
And finally, Mystery OU, we got Lax versus Rob Jr. This one's actually gonna be a pretty...
Hype.
Yeah, this is actually gonna be a pretty close matchup. Tune into this one, folks, because you're gonna see something good here. I'ma predict Lax.
This is tough.
Go, pick one.
I'll go Lax as well, although
I could see Rob Jr.
there
winning,
is
but...
something inside me that says Rob Jr. can do this.
Okay. Anastar Articunos versus the Full Moon Frostmoths. Next up, first up, we got TSAA, Poshik Moshik versus Don Vasquez. This one's actually a pretty... For 2 OMM core players, this one's actually pretty hype. I'ma say Don wins.
Is that so?
Who are you going?
I'm predicting Poshik Moshik.
Alright, Baku and Don it is. Stab and Mega, Elgino already beat Agrometelli, so well done to Elgino
Who
on
would
this.
you have predicted?
Honestly, I'd pick Elgino.
What?
No cap. I think Elgino is underrated in OMMs.
Okay, but I think there is a reason for that.
Why, would you have gone Agrometelli if you could?
Yes.
Okay. Bring 12 multi-6 Gen Rands. Los Gono Shoto versus Star Real. So Star Real is not playing OU, although I know why.
We knew this.
We know this. We know why. But he's going up against one of the best Rands players, so this one's gonna be a hard one. I'm gonna say Losco wins.
I too will predict in favor of Losco. However, I could see Scaria winning.
If he does well in the Rands or gets a good matchup, he probably will. Camo doubles, Trace versus Mimoric. This ought to be interesting. Never really seen Trace play.
Trace plays Doubles?
I mean, he can do pretty much any tier and do it well. But
Oh, okay.
Mimoric is Mimoric, so Mimoric.
Yes, I agree with that statement.
National deck same 6. Leru versus GXE. This ought to be fun. Especially with the same 6 mons, which are not the best, but also not the worst. I know Blaziken's gonna sweep through this freaking same 6, but we'll see about that.
You see, there's a Kingler.
There's also a Clefable.
There's also a Floatzel, which has access to Aqua Jet. There was also a Solrock, which should be able to take Blaziken's hits if it's not set up.
I expect a weakness policy Solrock at some point, but that's just me. GXE to win.
GXE.
National deck supers minus obtainable forms. We got PJ versus FC. I haven't really seen PJ play at all. Not even.
Me neither.
But he is. I've heard around the block that he's a good player. I'm gonna stick with the tried and true FC though.
I will also stick with FC.
Next up, monotype cap trichotomy versus felines. I think everyone will say that this is probably the most hype monotype cap match. Although trichotomy's been doing better than felines, so yeah, trichotomy.
Cap monotype versus its creator.
It's the it's the creator versus the creation. Who you going?
Trichotomy.
Okay. Mystery OU, we got Splorsh versus Reginald. Finally, Splorsh is making a Splorsh in the Articuno side. And Reginald's back to OU, and we've seen Reginald do well in OU, and we also see Splorsh doing well in OU. So this one's actually gonna be kind of close, but I think I'm gonna go with Brazilian Splash.
I'm going with Reginald.
You have faith in the Reginald.
Yes, I do. He is a Lapras.
You Lapras, you! Anyway. Next up, we got the Grand Order Greninjas versus the Ruinheim Renirigus. First off, in TSAA, we got Sasha versus Longheap. I know, I want to see Sasha do well, but it's Longheap.
Yes, it's Longheap.
So Longheap wins.
Also, I didn't predict Sasha doing well from the start.
Yikes.
Look, if you're not like super great at something in particular, you're probably gonna be kind of middling.
That has been the problem with most of these players in these pools, unfortunately, but yeah, you're right. You got a point.
Also, in general, they don't tend to get good records in these tours.
We've already seen a lot of those before. So yeah, Longheap wins. Stab and Mega, we got Sage versus Dr. PhD BJ. This one's actually, this one is kind of hype. I've been impressed with both players. Sage.
However, I'm predicting in favor of the analytical Man Ray, Mr. Dr. PhD BJ.
I'm also gonna say Analytical Man Ray wins this one in a heap. Because no matter, this ought to be one of those games. It's gonna be one of those games, people, where the build up is much more hype than the actual match itself.
Probably.
Next up, bring 12, pick 6, multi-gen Rans. We got Expulso versus Raichi, the newest member for the Reniriguses. It's time. It's time that Expulso gets a win.
Who is Raichi?
They've been around since 2011.
Oh.
So, he's got some experience in him.
Yes.
So, and I've heard around the block that he's also a good player in general, but it's about time Expulso gets a win, so Expulso should win.
My gut is saying Raichi.
Okay. Camo doubles. Kepper versus Roldski, the two people who have beaten Zifable.
Hey, shut up.
But, you know what? This one's actually, like... I don't think Kepper should have a problem with this one, though, so I'm going to say Kepper.
Kepper.
National Dex...
Kepper gonna kept winning.
Kept winning. Ha! National Dex same 6. We got Askov versus Ars9. So, interesting that Askov is getting slotted here. Which, to be fair, he kind of needs it after not doing well in Monotype Cap. So, I think Ars9 should still win, though.
Ars9.
Ars9.
He is a Lapras.
Of course. The bias continues. National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms. Star versus Ayaka. Yeah, this shouldn't be close as well. I think Star Master's got this.
I agree with that statement.
Monotype Cap, we got Gum versus Tier. This one's gonna be interesting. I know Gum can play well. Gum can absolutely play well if given the chance. Tier Acid also can play well when given the chance. But I think Tier Acid, on the combination of experience and just general knowledge in the tier, I think Tier Acid should pick up the win here.
Same. The Grand Order Greninjas haven't had the best luck in this tier, have they?
No, not really. Mystery OU, we got TPP versus Ewin. This ought to be very close. I think both players are...
Ewin.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say TPP.
Don't regret that.
Two players who have done well in OU, so this should be 50-50 either way. I think.
What do you mean done well in OU? TPP has 1 win and 1 loss.
I mean to say in terms of performance, not record.
Yes, so we're basing this off of 1 game, 1 set.
2 sets, actually. Since you said 1 win, 1 loss.
Off of easies as well?
Maybe. TPP to win. You think Ewin should win? Okay. Finally, we got the Gotham Golbats versus the Belletta Drive Bayonets. This one is, I would dare say, this one is gonna be my favorite. Along with the, Articunas and Frostmots, this should also be pretty close. First off is TSAA. We got the Dragon Master versus Euphanos. Dragon Master has been quite the presence in TSAA, but Euphanos is well known for its building and whack choices, so Euphanos should win.
You're predicting Youth?
Yep.
Oh my god, I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
This one you wouldn't appreciate. Stab and Mega, Andy Boy versus Axel, and Axel has been doing well in Stab and Mega. You're going up against Andy Boy.
And?
E-Boy should win.
My boy, Axel, will prove you wrong.
We'll see about that. I know Andy Boy's 0-2 right now, but he will bounce back. I swear.
Will he, though?
We'll
when
see.
My boy, Axel,
It's
is
the betting
3-1.
man. It's the betting man instinct. It's consumed me. Mike, bring 12 multi-gen Rands. Crunchman versus Michael, their best 2. This is a 3-0 versus 4-0 battle between 2 undefeated players. Can't believe Crunchman is 3-0. Michael to win. End of story.
Michael to win. He's going to do what he does every week, and that's play first, then post the emoji in the chat.
That's your chat.
It's a shaking hand. It's a handshake emoji.
And that's your chat and your chat only. Michael DeBrest to win. Finally, I get to predict for Michael.
After every win, so that's pretty much the only activity in the Ranbats channel.
Cool.
It's very satisfying.
Camo doubles. Clastia versus Zifable. Man, my betting man instincts want to predict Clastia to win.
This is Z's win. This is.
I'ma go with the
Z's
safe pick and go for Zfable. Okay.
Good.
But I won't be surprised if Clastia wins.
I will be.
National Dex, same 6. TDK versus Shiloh. Again, a really fun matchup this one, I think. Both have been doing pretty well in same 6. I'm gonna go with my betting man instincts once again and go for TDK. Shiloh, impressed me with your build.
I'm slightly worried. TDK brings whack things.
Yep, and I expect both players to bring whack sets for these players.
I believe in Shiloh. He will win, okay?
Natdex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got Bacon eating assassin versus Kate. Is this about the time where Kate finally gets to win?
I sure hope so.
I mean, Bacon also hasn't been doing his best in this tier as well. So this ought to be a pretty even matchup. I'm gonna say Bacon, but only slightly.
Okay.
Monotype Cap, Roxy versus Spoo. Oof. Both players have been doing well. Spoo only played one game and absolutely destroyed with a broken Mon, while Roxy's been doing pretty impressive in general. So I'm gonna say Roxy.
I believe in Spoo. We cooking up heat.
Mystery OU, Zen versus Tectonic Destroyer. This one, I could see Tech winning. I definitely could. But I think Zen is the more experienced OU player of the two, so he's the safe pick. I'ma go with him.
You probably wonder why Easy isn't in the lineup.
I know. I won't elaborate, but I know. And that is the end.
Oh, thanks to your crappy OU choices.
We'll do better next time. Thank you everyone so much for watching the week 4.
Wait, I want to point out something. Look at the same 6 Mons. 2 of them have Clefable.
Right. What's wrong?
2 of them have Pikachu.
Different
2
forms.
of them have Heliolisk.
What is the okay? Well, what are you getting at? Uncreative.
I'm not getting at anything. I'm getting at the fact that there are 3 repeats.
It's fine. We're fine. Thank you all for watching this birthday edition of the TPP Podcast. I hope you've been doing well, and hopefully we get to see some heat for the final 4 teams that will make playoffs. It's crunch time, ladies and gentlemen, and not the crunch man time.
No, it's not. It's Michael Derbeste time.
I was gonna point that out, but okay. Thank you all for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you wouldn't miss any of my videos once they come out. And I'll see you next week when we talk about Week 5 recap and Week 6 predicts. This has been Mikoy, signing out.
Oh, and another thing, all the same 6s have water types.